That's right, Paul and Pat. Let's take a look at conditions in Fontana right now, where temperatures are into the mid-80s and those winds are still very strong. We do have low humidity levels and we do still have those strong winds, not as strong as earlier today, but still sustained right around 19 miles an hour there in Santa Clarita, 17 in Riverside, 14 in Long Beach. And again, take a look at these gusts. So not only those strong sustained winds, but we've got gusts well above that, up to 45 miles an hour there in Malibu Hills, 58 in the Newhall Pass, 69 in Laguna Peak. So again, some very strong gusts over the last 24 hours. We are through the worst of it, so that is good news. We do have those wind advisories in effect through Saturday. However, we just have a few more wind warnings left. And that includes the mountains of LA and Ventura counties, and that should be canceled by 6 o'clock this evening. So that is good news. We also have red flag warnings in effect because although the strong winds are dying down, we still have some gusty winds in store for us for the weekend, low humidity levels, and of course, those extremely warm temperatures. So red flag warnings in effect through 6 o'clock on Saturday. So for tonight, we are looking at temperatures cooling down into the 50s, but we still have some gusty winds. Again, nothing like the winds from earlier today, anywhere from 15 to 25 miles an hour, but still the possibility of those gusts up to 45 miles an hour. After that, we've got some warmer temperatures in store for the weekend. I'll have more on that coming up. Pat, back to you. That's right. You don't want to scare anyone, but you want everyone to be prepared. Right now, winds are sustained with Sandy at 75 miles an hour. It's moving just to the north of the northwest Bahamas, where of course they've been dealing with hurricane force conditions throughout the day today, as well as South Florida. As it moves to the north right around 7 miles an hour, it will have an impact on the Carolinas, bringing anywhere between about 4 to 8 inches of rain. So again, we've got the heavy amounts of rain. But what happens after that is what we are watching very closely. It will wobble to the northeast and then eventually back to the northwest, where it could merge with this upper level low. Now, if that happens, we are looking at monster nor'easter sort of weather. We are looking at anywhere between about 11 inches of rain between most likely Philly into D.C. And then we're looking at heavy amounts of snow, gusty winds, and a very high storm surge. So this has the potential to cause very large damage. So again, we will watch it very closely for you. And again, this will take place early next week. So again, a lot of factors going into that, but we will watch it closely for you. We're also watching these winds very closely for you, up to 19 miles an hour there in Santa Clarita, calming down a little bit more in Santa Monica, but in Long Beach, up to 14 miles an hour, 17 miles an hour now in Riverside, but we've had gusts up to 45 miles an hour, and that is why the wind advisories are in effect, and that will stay in effect through 2 o'clock on Saturday. So again, these winds will stay strong through the first half of your weekend. We do have those high wind warnings in effect, where winds could gust up to 65 miles an hour. That will just take us through 6 o'clock this evening. So again, the worst of the winds here at home are done, but we do have that red flag warning in effect, and that will stay in effect through Saturday at 6 o'clock. Now, that is because of the warm, windy, and of course, gusty conditions out there. Now, temperatures, because these are Santa Ana winds, these temperatures have been running well above average, 85 for the high today on this Friday evening. We are looking at temperatures still into the 80s out there. In fact, it is 86 in Anaheim and in Riverside, all because of this ridge of high pressure bringing us a strong offshore flow, and that is what's warmed up our air, and also bringing in that drier air. Humidity extremely low out there, down to around 10% in many areas. So again, it is hot, it is dry, it is windy, and that's why we have the red flag warnings that will stay in effect through your Saturday. But take a look at the above average into your Sunday, but by next week, temperatures back to normal. In fact, we'll see the return of the marine layer as soon as Wednesday. Paul and Pat, back to you.
And this weekend, Jackie?
Well, Rick, we are through the worst of the winds, but it is going to stay breezy out there tonight, even into your weekend. You can see the strongest winds anywhere from 17 miles an hour there in Santa Clarita, right around 11 in Riverside, 14 in Long Beach. But take a look at these gusts that we've had the last 24 hours, up to 45 miles an hour there in Malibu Hills. Newhall Pass 58 miles an hour. So again, some very strong gusts, but we are through the worst of the winds. We do have wind advisories that will stay in effect until 2 o'clock on Saturday, and along with that, red flag warnings because it is still going to be breezy, it is hot, and it is dry. In fact, take a look at our humidity levels right now. Most areas into the teens. I'll have more on that weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Rick, back to you.
All right, thank you.